Good morning from sunny South Africa. Hello, Polly. Have you come to join us today? This is Polly, and Polly is very, very famous actually here in South Africa because she goes into lots of schools and chats to the little kids about why we don't bully each other. No, bullying's not nice, is it, Polly? No, she doesn't like bullying very much. And also about being different. Now, being different comes in many ways. Being different is about colour, it's about religion, and it's also about our ability to do things, or more, should we say, our disabilities. Sometimes, yeah, Polly, you have a disability, don't you, love? Yeah, Polly was born with only one eye, and so she wears a patch, but that doesn't stop her from doing things. No, Polly is fantastic. She actually is so good, and she believes that disability does not mean inability. Yeah, that's right. Tell them about what? Tell them about the Olympics. Okay, I will. Okay, so last Friday, the Winter Olympics kicked off in South Korea. That's right. And directly following the Winter Olympics, we had the Winter Paralympics, or as I like to call them, Paralympics, because my Winter Paralympics, is all about pirates. That's a lot of P's in there, hey? Yeah, and we're going to read a little bit today because it's coming up on reading time, and you know, everybody likes to listen to a little bit of a story. So I'm going to read a little bit from one of my books, which is Polly's Inuit Games. Yeah, that's you, Polly. I know you wrote that one, didn't you? Yeah. So here we go. A little bit from Polly's Inuit Games, and it all reflects around Winter Paralympics. Just to give you a little bit of a history, it's actually based on Snowy Island, and the Inuits are there to help the pirates run their games. And the head of the Inuits is the Amialik. So here we go. The Amialik announced that the very first event would be the 1 foot high kick. I can jump 1 foot high, Nook announced proudly. I somehow don't think it's going to be that easy. Look, replied as he looked at Johnny Isiluk, the Inuit demonstrating what they had to do. Johnny Isiluk jumped, and it appeared to the pirates that he flew like a seagull into the air to kick the ball. There suspended was a ball which the competitors had to jump and kick with 1 foot. After each successful round, the ball will be raised. Dipper, what are you thinking? Are you going to be able to do this? Captain Kipper was keen that his men would be able to perform well in all the events, especially as they had persuaded them to remove the hot water bottles they had tied round their tummies to keep warm. Dipper thought about it and nodded. Yes, Captain, I'm able to do this event. He straightened his turban and prepared himself for what would be the jump of his life. Each of the other competitors also limbered up and started stretching lazy muscles. Drake, Saki, Brooke, Field, Dipper, Deadseye, and the girls Danio and Kawasaki would all compete in this event. The ball was set at 1.5 meters, and Drake, with a patch over his left eye, there you go, just like Polly, was up first. But he misjudged where the ball was and missed it completely, falling awkwardly. It's harder than you think, he muttered, and then he picked himself up, nothing damaged except his pride. It wasn't always easy to judge the distance to objects when you only had one eye, and his crew knew and understood this. Next up was Saki. He jumped and also just missed the ball by a few centimeters, to a chorus of, "Good try. Never mind, Saki. Better luck next time, mate," from the members of his crew. It was Brooke's turn next. He surprised everyone as he sprang from his blades and easily touched the ball with one of them. He was on the scoreboard. Dipper, too, used his blade leg to spring into the air and touch the ball with his other foot. Phil, by now, after watching the other two successful pirates, started to feel confident. Although he didn't have an obvious disability, his was, well, rather more hidden. He just couldn't dance. He ran towards the ball, sprang too early, and slipped up as if on a slippery banana. Oh, yeah, he did. This brought hoots of laughter from the audience of pirates, and he could feel his face redden. That wasn't very nice. No, it wasn't, Polly. It's not very nice to laugh at people when they can't do things, is it? No. It's all right, mate, he heard Seal whisper. Most of them couldn't do it either. This made Phil feel a lot better, and he sat back down. Deadeye, too, missed the ball completely, leaving only the girls to compete. Danielle gracefully stepped up towards the ball. Her blades flexed, and she sprang into the air with ease and touched it. Kawasaki likewise made it look easy. Cool. Them girls are so, what's the word, Malarkey? Graceful, elegant, agile, nimble, suggested Malarkey. Beautiful, a starry-eyed Sparky replied as he gazed at Daniel. Ever since the Athena had arrived in Iceberg Bay, Sparky had been acting all peculiar, smiling and waving at the girls every time he was on deck or in their vicinity. I think he's in love, remarked Farty. Oh no, I hope not. He's bad enough when he concentrates 100% on things. If his mind's on girls, he'll never get anything done, replied Malarkey, Sparky's best friend. Sparky still gazed at Danio, goggle-eyed. Meanwhile, 4 competitors had made it through to the next round. The ball was raised to 1.75 meters. Looked at Brooke. I wouldn't want to be in your shoes, Brooke. The captain's determined that these here girls won't beat us. Brooke was all too aware of Captain Book as he felt his glare on the back of his neck, but he tried to put him out of his mind as he prepared for his second jump. Brooke was about to start his run-up when he heard a loud cough from behind him. He glanced around to see Captain Book beckoning him over. Captain? No pressure, Brooke. Just wanted to remind you that if you lose, you'll no longer be on my crew. Brooke stood open-mouthed. But that's bullying. Shook his head and muttered under his breath nearby. He'd never heard his captain use bullying tactics before, and he was very, very disappointed. Many of the crew had been bullied at school, and for some, that's the reason they had run away and become pirates. Shook his head a little bit more, and then whispered what he had just overheard to the rest of the crew. That's not like the captain, Cook said. No, he was bullied himself when he was a lad. Are you sure that's what you heard, Shook? Wasn't it, Polly? Yes. Shook confirmed it was, and shook his head vigorously. Soon the whole crew of the Columbus were huddled together. They discussed what should be done. I knows he was upset about losing the book bounty to the girls, but this is taking things too far. Took a deep breath and marched up to his captain. The rest of the crew gasped and quickly followed. Bullying was ugly, and when it came from their own captain, it was even worse. He was supposed to keep everyone on board in check. Captain took clear his throat and went on. We, and he looked around, your crew are a bit upset. Upset, are you? And pray tell, what are you upset about? The captain Book put his hand on his hip and squared himself to his crew. We don't think it's fair what you said to Brooke, Nook said bravely under the glance of Captain Brooke. No, Nook added. Your ship has always been a fair ship, Captain, and you've only ever asked us to do our best, nothing more, and it's always been good enough. But now, all this competition with the girls over a few books, well, we think what you said was out of order. We know as how you're the captain and all, but it was just wrong, Shook announced. Captain Book stood still. Inside, he was quite shocked that his men had stood up to him, and secretly a little bit proud of them too. Yes, as a boy, he had been bullied. He loved books and was quite a bookworm. The other kids at school had teased him and tried to steal his books, and so he had run away to the sea to become a pirate. Ask Brooke to come here, please, Hook. Hook waved his hook at Brooke and beckoned him to come over. Brooke was a bit nervous as he thought his captain was still angry with him. Brooke, Captain Brooke coughed. Brooke, it's come to my attention that what I said may have been a bit out of order. Brooke looked at his captain with a stern frown. Okay, it was out of order and I apologise. All this girl stuff, well, it just got to me, lad. I'm sorry. You just go out there and do the best that you can, and that will be good enough for me and the crew. Hey! Hurrah! That's more like it, Captain. Captain Book's crew had never felt so proud of their captain. To admit to everyone that you were wrong was no easy thing to do. In turn, they each went up, saluted their captain before finding a good vantage spot to watch the rest of the competition. Brooke puffed out his chest and stepped up to the mark. He sprang off his blades and easily touched the ball. Dipper, Danyo and Kawasaki also easily touched the ball. This was going to be a tough competition. Then Danyo looked into Brooke's eyes and softened. She'd spotted this pirate the evening before and liked his gentle face. She realised that at the end of the day, this event was only a game, and that winning gold was only part of it. But winning a heart would be the better prize. Oh, it would, wouldn't it, Polly? She jumped, but didn't even put everything into it, and missed the ball set at 2 meters. Brooke and Dipper and Kawasaki all succeeded. The ball was raised again to 2.25 meters. Dipper was up first this round. Be jumping like you're walking on hot coals, called out Pippa. Then he realised that Dipper had no legs and couldn't know how that felt. Begging 1,000 apologies, crewmate, he mumbled. Be jumping like a spitting cobra this time, he smiled. Dipper smiled back, but he knew this was a very high jump. He sprang up, but the tip of his blade just missed the ball. He would have to settle for 3rd place. Kawasaki and Brooke both managed the height, and the ball was again raised, this time to 2.5 meters, almost the height of Bernard the polar bear, when he stood on his hind legs. Bernard's pretty tall, eh, Polly? Yeah. Kawasaki was determined that no male pirate would beat her after Captain Suzuki had reported the conversation from the previous day. So, determined to win, she let out a piercing shriek as she jumped into the air and touched the ball. Ah! Brooke glanced at Captain Book. The last jump had been huge for him, and in his heart of hearts he doubted he could make this one. Captain Book too knew that it was beyond this young crewman, and he walked up to the nervous Brooke. It's all right, lad. You've done your best, and your best is good enough for me. And he smiled as he walked away. Brooke didn't make the jump, but he knew it was okay, because his best was good enough, and there was just someone who was better on the day. Brooke went up and congratulated Kawasaki, who in her turn bowed low to him before joining her crewmates to celebrate. Results were taken to Arjun in the summer, who in turn took them to the penguins to tally and keep records of the points. So, I think that when we read this story, we learn a few things as well. We learn that actually winning doesn't always matter. Taking part seriously does. And that's what the whole ethos of the Olympic Games, be they summer or winter, are all about. But we also learn that, we shouldn't bully people. It's ugly and it's not nice. And Polly was bullied in one of her early episodes in one of her books, in How Polly Became a Pirate. And she became, Polly's okay, it's okay. She became very, very sad, actually. And her feathers all fell out. Yeah, they did, didn't they? So it's nasty, and we don't do things like that. And so my books actually, at the end of each chapter, they have a little interactive page for the kids to do. You know, you get a car, and you get an SUV, and you get a crossover, and you get picture books for the young ones, and you get chapter books for the older ones, and then you get a crossover. And this is my crossover book. And they have this little page where they've got a few questions to answer. They can draw a picture, what they still love doing at sort of the 8 to 10, 11 age group. And they can interact with the pirates and, of course, with Polly. So here, at the end of this chapter, we talk about bullying and why we don't do it. And it's something nice to do with your children or at school. So for today, I'm going to say TTFN, ta-ta for now. And we'll be back again soon. You're going to bring some of your friends? Oh, okay. Well, Polly hopefully is going to bring some of her friends, and we're going to join you soon. So, TTFN.